Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video. There's been a lot of chatter about VA employees having to return to work. A lot of veterans do not understand what that means. So in today's video, I'm going to break it down for you so you understand. In one of my previous videos, I touched on it a little bit, but also I'm going to explain if VA employees do return to the office, can that impact your claim? Also, I am going to share my personal story as it pertains to me working in the office and me working from home full-time as a VA rating specialist. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, everyone. Woo! Got some good information for you today. But before I get into that, make sure you click that link in the description section and get signed up for our monthly veteran membership. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So, what is all this hoopla about VA employees having to return to work? Okay, a lot of veterans think, oh, that's a good thing. I will share some with you, okay? Or they think it's gonna get their claim worked a lot faster, okay? That's a myth. But in one of my previous videos, I talked about the two different types of the VA employees. You got bargaining and non-bargaining. Non-bargaining are management. Bargaining are VSRs, DROs, RVSRs, rating specialists, okay? The non-bargaining, they got to go back in the office, according to the word out there, the executive orders that have been coming out. Don't know when, but guess what, people? Those management, they do not rate cases. They do not do development for cases. They do not request CMP exams. They're pushing paper. You do this, you do that. That's it. Okay, so for them to go back in the office, how is that going to help veterans? Okay, now, bargaining employees, them going back in the office, is that going to get your claim done a lot faster? No. No. Okay? No. Don't think that. I worked from home for 5 years. 2 of those years were working from home full time. Okay? So I'm going to explain what happened and why I did that. Okay? So there's a union in place. Don't you think that union is going to fight for those people to stay at home? There's not enough room to put all those people back in the office. Now, there are people working in different parts of the country that are working out of a regional office. When I mean out of a regional office, their supervisors there, that's their home base. So you may have somebody working out of the Atlanta regional office, which is in my case, second to the worst regional office, which is Oakland, just in my opinion. Sorry, I digress. They could be living in LA and got a job working remotely out of the Atlanta regional office. How are they going to go back into work? In these comments, there are people leaving on YouTube. You never worked inside the VA, so you wouldn't even know that. But now I'm telling you that. Okay? You got people working in North Carolina, drones that may live in North Carolina working remotely. But if you look at the SF-50, don't know what that is, do you? They're based out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So there's no way they can say, come back in the office. You're going to get on a flight from Charlotte, North Carolina or Durham, North Carolina and fly to Tampa and drive over to St. Petersburg regional office? No. Okay. Now, me, I worked from home for 5 years. Okay. Before I retired. My first 3 years, I was commuting back and forth to work. So I think the first 2 years I had to go in the office twice a week. My days were Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. And then they allowed us to only have to come in 1 day a week. And my day was Wednesday. That's what I choose. Some people chose Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I just chose Wednesday. Okay. And then I got into it with management. They pissed me off. Felt that I'm not going to say they felt. I felt they created a hostile work environment. So I said, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to go work from home full time and manage one person in management. I'm not going to call their name. Tried to fight me tooth and nail. So I go to the union and I say, hey, this is what's going on. And I cannot remember this gentleman's name, but he was a Raider. He was one of the, I think, leading union stewards or something like that with the union. But I know he testified before Congress, and he didn't have a job not too long after that. Never worked with him, but I used to see him around the region office. But I digress. And he said, you got to have your examiner to fill out this particular form for you to work from home. That was on a Wednesday because I was working in the office that day. Come back, give him a letter. He sends an email to this individual and was like, hey, Dwayne Kimball has his reasonable accommodation. He's going to work from home full time. My last 2 years at the VA, I worked from home full time. I only went in the office 3 times. And one of those times when I had to turn in my badge and ID when I retired, got the hiccup on, heck, from up out of there, okay? Now, so a lot of you saying, go back to work, go back in the office, go back in the office. Some people, they like going in the office and work, okay? But other people, like myself, didn't. I got more work done at home than I did in the office. My quality was better. My production was better, okay? The only problem working from home for me, I rarely ever took breaks. My break was going out to the mailbox, getting the mail, letting the sun shine on my face, and I always had a working lunch. I would fix lunch, and I would sit down at the computer and work, and I was able to get more work done that way. So don't think just because you're saying, hey, one of these VA employees are going back in the office, it's not the ones doing the work, it's management. But a majority of people that are doing what I did, they got more work done at home. So don't think just because they may go back in the office or whatever, that's going to somehow speed up the process. No, because I talked about this in my last video. A lot of VA employees are going to do this. Guess what? They get those reasonable accommodations updated. So if you're a VA employee, that's the nugget, okay? They're getting these RAs updated because they don't want to go back into work. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of confusion around what's going to happen with these remote positions where you have VA employees that are working at a particular regional office, but their home is, 2 or 3 states over. They can't commute. And even if they're in a state that has a regional office, they may be an hour or 2 away. Okay, so there is still a lot to unpack. Do not think just because these executive orders are coming down that all these people are going to be rushing back in the office. I don't see it. One, it's not enough room. They don't have enough desks for these individuals. They will have to stagger them. But on the flip side of that, guess what? The union is going to get involved. They're going to stall this stuff out in negotiation. You got VA employees going out and getting these reasonable accommodations and be like, no VA, no veteran, I'm not going back in, okay? It's not going to help your claim move any faster, okay? It still has to go through the process because a lot of things are electronic, okay? So just because this whole back in the office thing is going around, all this stuff, but I will tell you this. A lot of veterans, not a lot of veterans, but a lot of VA employees, I talked about this in my last video, probably are unfocused because they don't know day to day. I was like that when shutdowns, government shutdowns. It was hard to focus because every time you had a town hall meeting with the director or you had a team meeting with your supervisor, questions would come up and guess what they were saying? Management, we don't know, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. And so now you got the pressure of getting these claims done, meeting your production, all this other stuff. And we didn't know what was going on if they didn't pass the bill to fund the government, or if they didn't pass it, who was going to be essential, non-essential. So just think about that amount of stress and you still got to work. I'm pretty sure those VA employees are going through the same thing, but this is what you do with your claim. Make it easy for them. Follow the regulations If you have a DBQ, an extra statement, make sure it's actionable and sufficient. So if you decide to do a fully developed claim, which only means you have nothing else to submit, that's it. That means your claim is going to get rated first or really fast. Do your due diligence, do what you can do to build the best fully developed claim you can, so when you put it in front of that employee's desk, if they're sidetracked like what's going on in DC, which we don't have control over that, now they got a fully developed claim. Hey, let me go ahead and get this vet knocked out, get a CMP exam, or make an RFD, send it to a rater, and get it done. That's what you can do, okay? So I know I'm gonna get a lot of comments, but don't think that, this whole going back in the office, that's gonna get your claim done a lot faster. No, as a former VA employee, no, I don't see it, all right? So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and as always, share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.